The NBA wasn't ready for what happened that night in Boston. Under the bright lights of TD Garden, the Philadelphia 76ers walked in carrying the weight of uncertainty, questions about their future, and doubts about how they would look in the post-Harden, post-turmoil era. But when the final buzzer sounded on a 117-116 win over the Celtics, all of that noise was drowned out by a single name that echoed across the basketball world: VJ Edgecombe. In one night, the rookie didn't just announce his arrival. He made history. He made believers. And he made the NBA take notice. VJ Edgecombe had been a mystery to most casual fans. Just another name in a crowded rookie class filled with big talk and even bigger expectations. But for those who had watched his college run, there was always something different about him. The poise, the fearlessness, the explosiveness, it all hinted at something special. Still, no one could have predicted what he would do in his first professional game. Because from the moment he stepped onto the court, Edgecombe played with a confidence that made even the most seasoned veterans stop and stare. Against one of the most disciplined defenses in the league, he dropped 34 points, grabbed 7 rebounds, and dished out 3 assists, shooting 50% from the floor. It wasn't just impressive, it was jaw-dropping. When you start stacking the numbers, the magnitude of that performance becomes almost surreal. In that one game, Edgecombe etched his name beside legends. He broke Allen Iverson's record for most points by a Sixer in a debut. He topped LeBron James' mark for most points scored by a rookie in their first career quarter. And when you look at league history, only 2 rookies have ever scored more in their debut: Frank Selvey in 1954 and Wilt Chamberlain in 1959. Think about that for a second. 65 years have passed since anyone put up that kind of opening night explosion. What VJ Edgecombe did wasn't just a good debut, it was a once-in-a-generation moment. But it wasn't just the stat sheet that told the story. It was how he did it. Every possession had a calm, calculated energy, as if this wasn't his first NBA game but his 100th. The Celtics tried to test him early, sagging off to see if the scouting reports about his inconsistent shooting were true. They quickly regretted it. Edgecombe buried open looks, punished defenders who gave him space, and when they closed the gap, he attacked the rim like a man possessed. There was one play that summed it up perfectly. Xavier Tillman switched onto him, ready to force a tough mid-range pull-up. Edgecombe hesitated for half a second, sold the jumper, then exploded to the rim, detonating on Jaylen Brown with a dunk so vicious that Brown's only response was to get out of the way. It was the kind of play that turned heads not just in the arena but across social media within seconds. Moments later, he was flying in transition, tossing the ball up to Kelly Oubre Jr., only to get it back for a two-handed alley-oop slam. Then there were the subtle plays, slashing through traffic, absorbing contact, finishing soft off the glass against 3 defenders. Even when the Sixers trailed late, Edgecombe refused to fade. With Derek White, one of the league's most elite perimeter defenders, draped all over him, the rookie calmly dribbled, probed, and rose up for a cold-blooded mid-range jumper. Nothing in his demeanor changed. No showboating. No chest beating. Just quiet dominance. For a player whose pre-draft evaluations questioned his perimeter game, it wasn't the numbers that stood out, it was his mindset. He went 5 for 13 from 3, took 26 shots overall, and played like a man unbothered by the moment. That type of volume, that type of confidence, in your very first NBA game, especially in a hostile environment like Boston, speaks to something deeper. It's a mindset that separates the good from the great. He wasn't trying to prove he belonged. He already knew he did. And that attitude is exactly what's been drawing comparisons to another modern-day star, Anthony Edwards. Both carry that same blend of raw athleticism, charisma, and quiet confidence that screams superstardom. The way Edgecombe attacks the basket, the mechanics of his jump shot, even the way he carries himself on and off the floor, it all feels eerily familiar. But this isn't a case of imitation. VJ Edgecombe feels like his own brand of basketball, a balance between power and finesse, with a calm that's rare for someone barely old enough to rent a car. Reporters have tried to rattle him, asking how he manages to perform with such poise, and his response is always the same: it's just basketball. No overthinking, no pressure, just the game. That perspective, that refusal to let the moment define him, might be the most impressive thing of all. Even the coaching staff told him this wouldn't be just another game, that Boston's crowd would be relentless, that the lights would be brighter than anything he'd seen before. But Edgecombe didn't flinch. He treated it like pickup at the park. To show that kind of composure at such an early stage doesn't just hint at potential. It announces the arrival of someone who's built differently. Of course, as remarkable as Edgecombe's debut was, he wasn't alone in rewriting the Sixers' story. While VJ was introducing himself to the world, Tyrese Maxey was reminding everyone that this was his team now. With Joel Embiid on a minutes restriction, Maxey stepped into the spotlight and delivered a masterpiece of his own. 40 points, 6 assists, 2 steals, and a scorching 7 of 9 from beyond the arc together. He and Edgecombe combined for 74 points, the most by any backcourt duo in their first game together in NBA history. Let that sink in. Not Jordan and Pippen. Not Curry and Thompson. Not Wade and LeBron. Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe. For Maxey, this wasn't just about scoring, it was a statement. After years of showing flashes, of waiting in Embiid's shadow, this was his declaration of independence. Last season, he averaged over 26 points a night, and even though his efficiency wasn't elite, his growth has been undeniable. From a shaky outside shooter as a rookie to a legitimate deep threat pulling up from 30 feet, Maxey's transformation has been relentless. He's faster than nearly anyone in the league, fearless attacking the rim, and now, with a reliable jumper, he's become the kind of offensive weapon that can anchor a franchise. Defensively, too, he's starting to find his footing, sliding his feet, using his quickness to stay in front of opposing guards, making plays that shift momentum. His potential as a two-way star is becoming more real with each passing season. And what makes it all so fascinating is how perfectly his rise aligns with Philadelphia's new identity. The Sixers are no longer just Embiid's team, they're a collective built on youthful energy, speed, and unshakable confidence. Embiid, for his part, has embraced this shift. After years of being the focal point, the offense now runs through Maxey, with Embiid acting as the anchor, the stabilizer, the gravity that keeps defenses honest. Even on a night when he scored only 4 points in 20 minutes, the impact was obvious. Boston still sent double teams his way, still adjusted their defensive sets to account for his presence. That kind of attention opens the floor for everyone else. Edgecombe slashing, Maxey attacking, shooters finding rhythm. It's a dynamic that could make the Sixers one of the most unpredictable offenses in the East. And this is what makes their future so compelling. Because for the first time in years, Philadelphia isn't living and dying by Embiid's health alone. There's a real foundation being built here, young, hungry, and talented. If Paul George can stay healthy and contribute as that veteran two-way wing, the Sixers suddenly have one of the most balanced rosters in the conference. It's not a finished product, not yet, but there's something brewing that feels different from all the failed experiments of the past.